Hello and welcome to Object Focus using the blur function in Adobe Photoshop, a tutorial presented by Logon to Learn, powered by Knowledge Wave. In this session, we will cover how to increase focus on an object in a photo by adding more blur to the background. The principle behind this tutorial is pretty straightforward. The idea is that if you increase the blur to the background, the foreground becomes more highlighted or more prominent. Now, before we began this session, I already created a selection, and now I'm going to go to my Select menu and load that selection. I named it the blur area. And we can see with our dancing ants what that selection looks like. Now, if you're curious about creating selections, we do have other tutorials about that. I really want to focus on the blur for this one. And this is pretty straightforward. What I first want to do, and I'm going to expand my layers palette so I can see this. I'm going to hit Control-C and then Control-V. And what I've essentially done is created a new layer with only that selection. If I get rid of my background, you can see it. My background layer, that is. Now, with my new layer selected, and I'm going to name this my blur layer, I'm going to go to my Filter menu, go to Blur, and choose Gaussian Blur. Always make sure that the preview is on so you can see the effect of this. I'm going to move it so I can actually see it in my window as well. And I'm going to go up to about 13 pixels. And now the background has an increased blur, which makes the foreground more prominent. If I click the visibility icon, I can see before and after. Notice with the blur in effect, the foreground becomes more prominent. We hope this session has been informative. Thank you for choosing Logon to Learn, powered by Knowledge Wave, educating the world anytime, anywhere.